So I'm always looking for things that are going to be like really popular and like something that's easy for me that people are going to be wowed by. So for I wanted to do graduation. I've been printing out a few things. I'm going to show you just a few things of what I've been printing for different shows, and people have been like, "Holy crap, look at that!" So I think I'm on the right camera. I think I'm turning it the wrong
You
way.
are.
There we go.
You are.
So this is just something that I printed. These are all dummy cookies, just filament printed out, and I just use these to take to my different events so that I'm not wasting product. These were seat cards so that they could have their name, have their table, and they can eat it. And then this is a bride and groom that I did, and it says, I don't know if you can read it on the camera, but it says, "Thank you for sharing our special day with us." And then there's a cute little picture on there. It turned out very nice. People are loving these ideas. And so it's obviously wedding season, but it's also graduation season. And I stumbled upon a cookie shop. She does STL files. So if you want to print your own cutters, you can. She does images, and she does something called a magic image, which helps you to be able to easily swap out changing colors or changing images on your file that you've purchased. So these are the two files that we're going to use today. This is a graduate cookie, and everything's backwards. There we
You're
go.
good. No, it's fine.
Um, I keep, like you said, like I told you, your other left. That's how I feel right now. I'm like, am I going the right way?
You have
Um,
it right. Every first time you do it, you're 100% right, and then you fiddle with it.
oh, probably because I'm like right in front of the camera. Like that's how I feel.
Yeah,
So
you are.
this beautiful young lady, she actually attends my church, and she is going to Boise College next year. I asked her mom if I could steal her images that she posted off of Facebook and use them to make cookies. So these images that I use are actually, I just uploaded them from Facebook. When you're doing images, it is better to get the direct file instead of taking it from one place to the other, because every time you take it from one place and then you transition it to another place and then you're moving it to another place, the quality depletes a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. You might not see it until you've moved it a few times, but eventually you will see the difference. And then I also made her these cute little cap and gown cookies. I think I'm going to have a little bit of a glare, but it's white on like a peach background. You'll see it better once I get it on the screen. Let me put her name on the tassels and the year. I think my other light is probably what's reflecting. Oh,
There,
there we go.
yeah, there you go.
I'm like, I can figure this out. So it says
Yeah,
her name on it. It says the year for graduation, and her cap and gown are white. So we went with the white and gold. So I'm going to go ahead and jump over to Kelly's website just to kind of show you a little bit of how her site looks. So this is the design studio for Kelly. She is phenomenal. She's a great person to work with, and she's really good about if you need anything custom made. She's very good about helping you out. So these are just a couple of graduation caps. We're gonna type in graduation, and all the other graduation stuff should come up. Doo-doo-doo. Yeah, every time you make a copy, it just gets worse and worse and worse. Happy birthday, John. Um, all right, so now I'm waiting for this to open the new screen. There we go. I'm like, it's taking forever. All right, so now we've got different gowns and caps. Now, you see this one here says magic template. This one, you can change this white to, we're going to use a different one, but this is just the first one I came across. And right next to it is a tassel. So if you wanted to just do cookies with tassels, or if you wanted to be able to add on a tassel to an image, you could take these two images. I'm going to show you how to pull them into software to change the colors and then use them in your, for your graduation cookies. So you just add it to your cart like normal, cash it out, and then you go into your account, you download. I have an account, I swear. There it is. And then you'll be able to find your downloads. And so with each download, you get a tutorial as well. So just in case you forget that this is here for you to go back and watch, you can also go back to the site where you purchased and you can watch another tutorial. And remember, everybody does things differently. You can try to mimic exactly how people are doing things, but 9 out of 10, you're going to find some little tweak or something that's going to make it easier for you. And so when I show you today, this is not like Bible. This is not the only way to ever do anything. This is just one way, and this is the way that I do it, and it's easier for me. So I've downloaded these already. We're going to go ahead and pull up Canva. I am going to open a new screen. I'm going to start with a custom screen. Let's custom size it. We're going to do a 5 by 5 inch and create a new screen. Okay. And now that I've downloaded everything will be in my uploads. I have already uploaded it to my files, but to upload, you simply will just have to know where you downloaded it. I download everything either to a file that I call the Beast, which is my blueprinter's name, so that I know where to easily find it, or I will download it to just my downloads folder so that I can move it later so that I don't lose it, so that next year this time I'm not freaking out going, where did I put it? So we're going to start with the gown. Where's my file? I downloaded a lot of stuff lately, and now I'm like, wait, where'd it go? So I think... And so this is just the outline. This is not where we're going to make it magic, but this is just an outline. This is actually really good to have, and it'll come with your file as well. This is really good for when you're going to, if you just want to do like an outline on your blue for your templates, you can use that if you just wanted to do that as opposed to printing out the actual images. Oh, I know where it's at. I'm like, where's my thing at? I moved it. See that? I'm so organized that I hide things from myself. So we're going to go into projects. I have already moved it to a folder called graduation. And this is the first. We'll get rid of this other guy. We don't need him. So this is your first. This is exactly how it comes. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I know that my cookie, I do want it to be about 4 inches. I think I ended up doing these about 4.5 inches tall because, like, you know, if you are familiar with sizing cookie cutters, sometimes because it's the longest and it's not a very wide template, when I tried to do like a 3.5 inch, which is normally where I try to stay, 3.5 to 4, it ended up being a little too small for my preference. So I ended up making it 4.5 inches tall. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make this a smidgen smaller than my screen. I currently have a white background, but I'm going to say I want to do a red background. So we're going to take this guy here. We're going to change it to red. And look, it did it for you that fast. I'm going to take this back over. I'm going to square that back up. And what I tried to do earlier, which I don't suggest you do, but I'm going to tell you because I didn't like it after I did it, was I called myself being smart and like cropping this way and then leaving it only a little bit of this tan background. But the way the cookie is, because it curves with the gown, the arms of the gown, having it a little bit extra wide it was probably more a better move on my end. So I did end up stretching those out to, it says it's 5 by 4 right now. So we're not counting this little smidgen here and a little smidgen at the top, but it is now red. So what we're going to do is we're going to download this picture here. And we're going to save it as a JPEG because we're going to need it for our blue later. And that way I don't forget to change it to a JPEG. And see, it goes right to my downloads folder, so I don't have to look for it. Get into the habit of saving things into the same file folders. That way, if something happens, you're not trying to search your entire computer for that image. All right, so now that is saved, I'm going to open up another screen. I'm going to change this. I just added a page. I just at the bottom, I clicked add page. I'm going to change this back to white. And then I'm going to upload the image that we just saved. So we're going to go up to uploads. If I can get the thing to move. There we go. And I'm going to upload files. Downloads, it's the very first one. I double clicked it. It is uploading to my files now. Just a simple tap and it goes right onto my page. Now, I am going to use background remover. Now, background remover is a pro feature, but I clicked it and it did it for me. Easy peasy. Now my cap and gown is there. I'm able to save it, but I'm going to also show you how to do it on remove.bg real quick because it's not hard. Let's find a tab that doesn't have 5 million tabs. All right, so the site that you want to go to is remove.bg. .bg. It's on upload because I go to it all the time, but it'll take you right to this page, remove.bg.
I love that you have free options for people who don't have the pro version.
Listen, if you've never met me in person, free is for me. Now, I have pro version only because I have a group. I have a team. So, hold on, I'll jump back to that. So, I'm on here now, and I just click upload image. Same exact thing like I just did in Canva. I double click it, it pulls in, but now I don't have to click anything. It automatically removes the background for me. Where'd it go?
So, you can, what she's showing you, you can use on any edible printer. You can print it out, everything out on Icing sheets if you want to, or you can use your Blue Food printer. So this is for everybody.
Yes, it is not food printer dependent. I have to say I am a little biased because I am a Blue owner, but I do get a little frustrated when I see that people have things posted like in the Etsy shops and they specifically say the Eddie. Like the Eddie is no longer the only option for people. And I think that people are having a hard time coming around to that. And when you're searching, if you don't have an Eddie, you're not thinking to search the word Eddie. So I just try to do both. But so now I did it like this, and then I just click download, and look, you can save it. The free preview version is totally good, totally good. You don't need to be fancy. You don't need to unlock this extra special thing because guess what? You got to pay for that. And like I said, free is for me. So let's get back to Canva. So this is our image after we removed our background. So now what I'm going to do to make this a little more person specific is we're going to add some things on. Now, the image that I showed you on the shop does not have the tassel around the neck or whatever you call this little sash thing. If you don't have it, then you don't have to do this. I really just liked this really fancy looking gold, and it prints out pretty darn like shiny, like it's gold. So I'm going to add a text box. And you can pick any font that works good for you, but I'm going to show you. So I'm just going to put in 2025 on one side. I'm going to rotate it. Try to get as straight as possible. The bigger my screen is, the better it is for me to be able to get as straight as possible. All right. So now I've kind of lined it up with this line here just to see if it's straight. And I'm going to slide it over. I'm going to duplicate this box. We're going to rotate it the other way because on this other side, I'm going to type this. I'm going to type my name. I'm going to pretend like I'm graduating. So I'm going to type my name in here. Oh, no, wait. All right. So I need to stretch this text box so that it fits. Right in this spot here.
So Stacy just gave us a quick tip. He said that you can hold the shift key when rotating to lock it in increments so it's perfectly vertical.
Oh, see, people know things that I don't know. That's
Imagine
handy.
that.
Yeah. I'm over here. You guys can't see me, but I'm touching my touch screen. I'm moving. I'm like doing lots of things because it's the only way that I know how to do it. So I'm going to add an effect to this because I want this to stand out a little bit from the gold background. So I clicked effect. I clicked this outline box here, and it automatically starts at 50, and it just jumps to, I think it just has like a fail safe color. I don't know why, but we want it to be white so that it stands out a little bit more. So now that is white, and I'm going to do the same effect on the number outline, change it to white. Now it stands out so much better, and you can increase the size if you want it to be a little bigger. Don't go too crazy because then it'll look obnoxious.
Can you make it bigger on your screen for a second?
Yeah.
Ooh, look at that. Thank you.
Absolutely. No problem. I'm trying to like look up at my other thing to see as well. I'm kind of multitasking.
It's kind of a juggling thing now with YouTube and Facebook and then the actual live video. So it's like watching everything. I feel like I'm in a television like room with all these different TVs. You can't see me. I'm throwing my arms in the air.
You said hold the shift key when rotating to lock it. Well, now I don't know what we're doing. Now it's just going bigger
Maybe
and
that's a
smaller.
Mac thing. I've never heard
Yeah,
of
I don't know. That just seemed like it made my life terrible.
I
So,
get a
and then you can,
position a lot of times because that helps
uh,
you like numerically change things if you're just trying to inch it.
yeah, sometimes I will. I was like trying to like be like fancy and just move it. Sometimes I can do it like with the quickness and sometimes I can't.
Yeah.
And then you can change your fonts. Dafont, DAFONT.com is my favoritist placed favoritist to get free fonts. Why? Because they're free. You just download them to your computer, and then when you're in your texts, it'll give you the option at the bottom. Like this one says change all because I'm working on just changing the font right now. But it'll say add font, and then you just download it right from to your computer. It's fantastic. Like this font is for Wicked. We've got a Disney-ish font, but of course we cannot call it that, so it's not. But we're just going to pick something basic. Let's go with that guy there. And if you want, you can also change the thickness of your, we're going to change all our fonts to that same. And see right here, it says upload a font. And I save all my fonts in a folder on my cloud so that I can easily find them. I don't always remember what they look like. And sometimes I download some that I don't need, but they don't take up a lot of space. So it's not really a huge deal. Back in effects. So our effects started with 50. You can change this to make it a little bolder, which I think will help you with like visually seeing the name. I'm gonna make it a little smaller right now, but it all depends on how you want to look. Talk to your client, say, hey, this is the two options we have. So this is at 140.39 and this one's at 50. So like you can tell the difference. But it's all going to be about what they want. It's not really a you option unless you don't give your people options. honestly, I don't give people a lot of options because then they try to drive me nuts. I don't got time for that. So I pick what I think looks great, and then I show them. I give them a demo. I send them this picture. I'll take it. I'll screenshot this picture just like this, and say, "Hey, here's a mock-up of your cookie. Are you okay with it? Does the font look okay with you?" They say, "Yeah, we're good to go." I take it, just like anything else. I upload it into my spreadsheet to make my blank spreadsheet. I add a couple images to do them together, and then I print. And they print out just like I showed you. So then the next one we're going to do is going to be the computer. Projects, folders. I got to get used to the fact that I move stuff. All right, so this is transparent. Even though you cannot really see it, I can see it because I know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, like, if you look here, it's kind of like this little checkered gray pattern, but it's very faint. You can't really see it. But just like the other thing, let's change this background color so you can see where it's empty. All that's empty. So now we have our screen here that's empty. And this background, we're not going to worry about so much. Oh, I did it twice. I was wondering why that looked like that.
I was wondering what you did. Like, I
was like,
twice.
So now you have your outside, and then this screen here is going to be your red. So I did use red for this young lady because the school she's going to is red. So I'm just going to stretch this because now I don't really need the extra sides or anything. So I'm just going to cover up this whole entire thing. And this gives me, there we go. This gives me, I'm too big. That's why I can't see. I'm like, where's my picture? There we go. So now we're fit in. So what I did was I uploaded her pictures into my upload files. Boop, boop, boop. So this is her graduation photo. And I'm just going to crop it. Like, I'm not cropping. I'm sorry. I'm sizing right now. I'm just sizing from that bottom corner, trying to get just an idea of how big I want it. Now, if I wanted to crop it, I could take and cut off some of that top. I could cut off a little bit of her arm over here, maybe like this, so that it just kind of fits into the space. Because remember, it's only, I'm going to say go with like a 4.5 inch size cookie for this. Because it's a pretty decent size. It fits right in my hand. So I have her picture here, but guess what? It covers up this plant right here, which we don't want. And it's covering up the diploma as well, a little bit on the corners. So at the top on these 3 dots here. Oh, it doesn't do it anymore, Stacy. Haha.
Something he did not know.
I'm like, wait, what? So I'm going to make this a little bigger just so we can see these details. So now the 3 dots are here. If you click those, you'll see a button that says layer. You can send it to the back by just clicking send back. And now it has moved behind this plant here and behind the diploma here. See, now I'm moving the picture and it's there. We're going to put that back where I found it.
You make sound effects when you move things around?
Huh?
Like sound effects, like wee.
I do. You know what? I do it when I drive too. My mom's like, why do you do that? I'm like, I don't know. I'm probably crazy. Another way to, huh?
It makes life interesting.
It does. I make car sounds and everything. So another way to move this layer is to, so now, where did it go? We're going to hit the position button. Position, if you noticed over here, it popped up a whole nother screen. I'm going to go to layers. We only have 3 layers. We've got the computer image with the books. We've got her photo. Now, by taking this and clicking and holding and dragging, I'm changing where the layers are. So another way to move that picture behind that image is to just take it and drag it below. And then we're good. And we're going to add some more to this. So I'm going to put this image where I think it looks really good. Like, to me, I'm a little OCD, so I don't really like that. There's a lot of space here and not a lot of space here. I don't like it. So, and when you have a lot of layers, sometimes it's hard to directly click specific layers. So I do like to actually open position. I open it probably more often than I try to click and highlight parts of it. See, Kelly? Yeah. Sound effects all day. It's the only way I get through life. Is I take this, and now that I've highlighted, it's already highlighted for me. So now I can take and move it in my screen. And that line that just popped up, that little purplish fuchsia kind of line, is telling me that that is lined up exactly in the middle, horizontally with my image. So I think that's perfect. And then I'm going to look on the side. I'm looking to the left, to the right. I could put this square in the middle, but I think that might be a little boring. So let's write a congratulations grad message. So we're going to add a text box. We just hit text. We're going to add text box. And now it says your paragraph text. And it's just, we're going to just put congrats grad. I know it's hard to see right now because it's black, but we're going to change that. And I'm going to drag it up here. We are going to, so I could still leave it that color. That's fine. Why are you not highlighting? There we go. Let's highlight all of this. Let's start at 20. 20 is too big. Let's go with 15. I'm going to put that there. We're going to add like a little bunch of balloons there. And I'm going to change this to white just because I feel like it's going to pop a little more than black. But I'm going to also do that same effect like I did on the other one, and I'm going to outline it. Hi, Susie.
Her name is Fred.
Her name is Fred. And so I outlined congrats with black, and you see it kind of makes it stand out a little bit more. We're going to just increase that line a little bit. It doesn't look like it's doing anything, but it is, I swear. That's why I like to just drag this, because I feel like clicking it takes forever. So I'm at 200, I'm at max, but that's fine because that's the way I like it. I want it that way, but now this is touching a little bit, so I'm going to slide it a little bit to my... Actually, I'm just going to make this a little bit smaller. There we go. And I'm going to add in some balloons. So let's go into elements. And I'm just going to search because it could be a graphic, it could be an element, it could just be a picture. So let's put in balloons. Oh, let's be more specific. Let's put in red and white balloon. Or no, we don't want red. Let's do black and gold and white. Let's see if I can find that. Gold. Because usually gold and white is your thing for graduation. And look, they gave me all these cute little things already. I'm already excited. So let's use... Let's make sure we got all our options here. Let's add... All right, let's go with this first one I saw. We're going to go with this one here. I like that gold. So now we've added another layer into our situation. And I'm just going to do this on a little bit of an angle. I'm not crazy about how these things are lining up, so I'm going to slide this guy up. I'm going to take my balloons. I'm going to slide them right there. Now, I'm going to make the screen a little bit bigger just so you can see it a little better. And I can move things very little when I make it bigger, which is what I want. I only want to move like a centimeter. So now we've got these cute little balloons. We got a congrats grad. And our cookie is ready to be saved as a JPEG.
Woohoo!
And these cookies print fantastic. So I know we're always worried about like saturation and things. So I do a light crusting on my cookie, on my royal icing, and I did get a little bit, just a little bit of bleed here, but the way it works out is you couldn't even really tell, to be super honest. It was something that I would notice, customers would not. But you could always take and change your saturation of this. It's going to be hard though, because it's not just changing the blue, it's changing everything. So now everything's gone. So I did end up changing it. I think I just dimmed it down to about 85, which doesn't change the image terribly. It's fine. So now we're going to save this as is, but now I can actually, you know what? Before I change that, I'm going to do this. We're going to save it this way with the 100%, and then we're going to bring it back in and change the transparency. So we're going to save it as icing images. I hope everybody's following along. I hope anybody has any questions they're asking.
Yeah, I will let you know if they do. But if you're watching this and you're not like a Canva pro, it's showing you all the things you can do. And you'll notice I say this all the time. She's doing a lot of stuff, but nothing broke. So don't be afraid just to jump in and try different things. Being able to see what it can do is pretty amazing.
So here's just a quick note, and I do forget to do this sometimes, like I just did it and I stopped myself. So we have 3 pages in this one Canva project. When I went to download it, it automatically just wants to download every file except for, every page. But I don't need every page. And when you do that, it saves it as a zip. And you're saving all the pictures again. You don't need to save all your pictures. So we're going to go right here to current page. Like, you don't need to save the pictures multiple times. Like, it's okay. You save it once, you're usually pretty good. And it will still stay in your projects on Canva. They don't delete. They don't go away until you manually delete them. So let's save this guy as icing images 2. Boop. Now I'm going to add another page just so that I can bring in that image that we just did. Or we're going to change that background back to white. Oh, and if you're not familiar with hex codes, these letters underneath where it says white, it says it's a hashtag or a pound sign. And then it's got letters. Sometimes it has numbers and letters. Like red, that's the code. So if you're looking for specific colors, say you're doing, this red is a very specific red. You want a bright red, not a dark red, not a maroon. Hex codes are perfect because if you look here, it says type in blue, or you can type in the code. So if you're trying to get a specific color and they give you swatches, like for a wedding, and they say, oh, I want this color to be exactly match this. Now, you know, and I know that we can never guarantee a 100% match on colors. It's just not something we can do. But if we have the hex code, that helps us get very much closer to what we're looking for. And if you look down here, the photos that I've brought in here, like this is her senior picture, it gives me every color that is in that image so that if I need to replicate that color, I can just click it and match it. So if I wanted my text to be this color here, that's the color that I could use from here just by clicking it. So we're going to change this background black to white. We're going to upload that new image we just saved. So it's right here, icing images 2. So I still use Design Space occasionally because I'm still a crafter. So that's why I use Design Space, because that's what I was used to when I first got my blue. We're going to add this picture in, and now I'm going to size it to this 4x4 square or 5x5. There's our image, our inches right in the corner. And now I'm going to take it and I'm going to take that transparency down to 85, 88. I think 90 is pretty good.
Because went off.
I know. I was wondering. I was like, it's going to be delayed. Um, this takes it down a little bit, and then when you go into your blue settings, you can also change your saturation in there as well, but it's a little bit easier if you're able to change it here. Um, there's probably some fancy way, and I bet like Stacey probably knows, like if I wanted to change just the blues, I could change the blues to be a little bit lighter, but it's really not that serious. I listen, work smart, not hard. Don't try to do everything. It's okay. And like I said, there's things that we're going to notice that they're not going to notice. So, um, now that that's like that, now I'm going to save it as a JPEG into my folder, and then I'm able to just print this out. Now, I do have a little bit of time left. I can really quick show you. Do I have time to do the diploma real quick?
Yeah, go ahead and do that.
Okay. So I found this Etsy shop. Let's see if I can find her. Da, 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 da. It is called Sweet Sugar Tops. And she has a diploma, an editable blah, 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 diploma image. I used it last year. I used it on cupcakes. It was a freaking hit. So you take it, you download it. It's a digital file, and you can change it. So once you downloaded it, you click it open. Here's your thank you for purchasing. You click download. And when you click download, it automatically, and this gives you like instructions, just tells you how to do it. So like if you can't read, let's start with reading first. Read first. Read all the way through. See if you can figure it out. And then if you can't, then ask for help. But this is, I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. So once we click download, it opens in Canva. It's going to give me this option to open into my app. I'm going to say I'm going to use this template for a new design. The app is going to open on my screen because that's how I have it set up to automatically open. It opened a whole new project for me. And now it says whatever it says up here. But we're going to change this. We're going to the school, Icing Images High School. So let's see. Position. This shows
Kelly
you
does have
all
a
the layers. We have a question.
I'm going to interrupt you because we'll go past it too far. When you talk about saturation in Canva, do you mean transparency?
They're similar, but not quite the same.
Yeah.
Saturation is how much ink you're spraying at one time, whereas transparency is the amount of color that you have in your image. I think I explained that correctly. Let me know if that sounds wonky.
Good job. Good job.
Okay. Okay, me. So I've changed my saturation. Like on my blue, like I said, I have an older blue. That's what I was going to put, Icing Images High School. My saturation, I did it on 15. I changed all my colors down to 15 because I have a very high level of saturation on my printer. From what I hear, a lot of you newbie people, the people I've had them for at least like within the last year or so, your saturation is not as heavy as mine. So you might not be able to change your saturation that far down, but that's something that you need to play with. That's something that, and I love, and you guys know, I answer any and all questions. I am here to help, but there are things that sometimes you're going to just have to play with on your own because we all have different, it's like having a brand new car. My Kia, I don't have a Kia. That's dumb. I have a Ford F-150. My truck is a beast and I love her. But my F-150 may not act the exact same way as the next F-150. So I have to find out what's going to be good for me and what's going to work for me and my specific truck. So that's how we're doing for this printer. So all our layers, they show you all the different parts. So, and if you look, as I'm touching them, they're highlighting just in case you're not sure what is where. And you can even change this border if you wanted it. Let's make it this pretty color here. Hey, what happened? Hey, what happened? Oh, wait, maybe it won't let me change that color. What happened? Wait. All right, we can just hide it or get rid of it. We can't change that color, but that's okay because diplomas are really the same color. But we're going to change this wording here to Icing Images High School. And the font is already set up for you, so it's not like you have to do anything. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Do what on Canva? Tracy, what are you trying to do on Canva? You probably can. Whatever your question is, probably, but I want to know specifically. So I'm
Probably.
well, probably. And then I'm going to put my name in here. And now I have graduated in 2025 from the Icing Images High School.
Love it.
Now, this size, it automatically opened in this 10.5 by 8.25, which is fine. But what I'm going to do is, yeah, you totally can make the diploma, but girl, I don't got time for that. Like I said, I work smart, not hard. I mean, if you have the time to make a diploma, kudos to you, boo, because I don't. I actually bought it last year. It cost me $4, this template. And all I have to do is go in and change the name of the high school, change the kid's name, and possibly change the year if I haven't already done it once for the year. But yeah, get crazy. If you are a Canva pro like that, go for it. So now I'm going to save this. We're going to save it as another JPEG. Oh, because now. Oh, yeah. Okay. And they're telling me that I have links, but we're not going to worry about that because it doesn't really matter. Because we're saving it as something separate. We can still save this. And I saved it as a template. I saved it into my graduation folder. So I can always find it, because trust me, if you are a crafter by any means and you are picking up free pictures and stuff, I have so many pictures that they just get lost in the sauce. So I have to try to organize them so that I can find them later. So now let's open a new one. We're going to make this an 8.5 by 11, just like a regular piece of paper. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in that certificate I just made. And it's totally going to be the wrong size, but it's okay. Totally wrong size. But if you remember back here, where did that PDF go? Oh, I lost it. Hold on. When I downloaded it, it gave me this, and then it took me to, oh, I know why, because it redirected me. I was like, where'd it go? If you go back to your instructions, the perfect size is right here, 2 by 1.5. 2 by 1.5. That's a perfect size for cupcakes and everything. So I'm going to take this position, and I'm going to go down. Instead of trying to drag and all that crazy stuff, I'm just going to go right in here. I'm going to change my width to, what did I say? 2 by 1.5. And I'm going to change this here. Oh no, what happened? Oh, I know why. Okay, don't do that.
You make me laugh.
It stops it sometimes. So here, we're just going to manually drag it down. And look, 2 by 1.5. Don't do that. Like I said, sometimes I do this stuff all the time, but sometimes it takes me a minute to jog my memory on how to do it. So you can literally just take and copy and paste this. So I did this the other way. I did it vertically. I rotated these the other way. So we're going to rotate this 90 degrees. And I just typed it in right there at the bottom so that I didn't have to go through all the shenanigans of having to get it exactly straight. So we're going to duplicate this image. And it gives you almost right on top of each other. But what we're going to do is we're going to take it, we're going to space them out, because I can get about 4 of these. And see, now that I've moved it, it automatically, when I click duplicate, it automatically spaced it out the same distance. So I know that I could fit 5 of these probably. Now, I see that it's a little bit close to the edge here, but I still have a lot of room here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight all 5 of those. I'm going to click this word group. And now, there we go. I'm center it onto my paper. Now what I'm going to do is duplicate this group, and I'm going to do the exact same thing, but now going vertically. And then we're going to hit duplicate, and it did it again. And then we're going to hit it again and again. So if you look, I'm a little off the edge here at the bottom, but I'm just going to move some things. We're going to highlight all of these things and just slide and see if I can fit them all. Felt like I couldn't fit 5 rows last time because I think it gets too close to the edge. So I don't like that. But guess what? I'm just going to keep this little bit of extra. This will be used for another purpose later. Or, here's an idea actually. I'm going to take and put them in this way. Yeah, I just want to make sure that was the same size. And we're going to duplicate this way. See? Smart, not hard. And I can fit 3. I might be able to fit. I think 4 is going to be too tight. So let's not go that route. But I've already fit 5, 10, 15, 20, 23, almost 24. If I wanted to, if this was for, like, if I was printing this for an order, I really try to fit as many edible images on a sheet as possible so that people are getting their money's worth. Like, I'm not here to steal people's money. And I know that times are tough, you know? So I might slightly smidgenly make these a little bit smaller just so I can fit one more down here. But it's really not that serious. That way I have 2 dozen. And you can just print this out the way it is. Because this is squared, you don't really need to do anything fancy. Just print it out. So save it as your JPEG, bring it into your program that you're going to use to print, and then be able to print it right out, and then manually just cut. I actually have a cutting thing. It almost looks like a, hold on, I can show you. All right, show me.
Stacey, put her up.
Stacey.
There we go. Show me.
So I have this little cutter. It's like a crafting cutter thing, but it works fantastic on my icing sheets. So I just take it, I line it up. It's got dimensions and measurements on the side. Oh, there we go. And then it's got a manual cutter that slides back and forth. And I just cut them that way if I need to send them that way. And if not, they just send the whole sheet and they can manually cut their own stuff out. But I think that was all the stuff. I have a picture of those cupcakes with that, but I don't know where it's at, unfortunately, at this very moment in my day. But does anybody have any questions?
They've been quiet. I think they're watching and taking it all in.
I'm like, I don't know if that's good or bad. But now we have all these
It's a good thing. It's usually a good thing. It's when they're kind of in the middle, but they're really quiet. They're watching and they're taking it in. And if they're chatting a lot, then you're not entertaining them enough.
Did I send you that picture of the things, I think?
Yeah. You did.
I'm trying to figure out where to pull it up so that I can show.
So I think you texted it to me though.
That's what I think too. That's where I'm looking. I'm like, I think that it is. So how do I pull this picture up? Oh wait, can I save it here and then pull it up here? Oh, let's see.
Let's see.
Upload. And my phone and everything is linked together, so all my stuff just stays in one spot. Like, I can get to my pictures on my phone and everything. So I'm just trying to see if I am able to save it and move it. so that you guys can see it. Because these were a hit.
Check your Facebook Messenger. I just Facebook messaged it to you.
But how do I get it
See?
to the
It's there.
screen? Yeah, you heard it. Oh, wait, I can pull it up on the messenger.
There you
It's
go.
slowly but surely. Oh, wait, how do I get it bigger? There we go.
So Selena had a question. It's a blue question. When you bring that into UltraPrint, do you then size it for a sheet of 8.5 by 11?
Since we already sized that sheet into an 8.5 by 11, are you talking about for the minis, for the cupcakes? We already sized it when we went in. If you look right here at the top, it says 8.5 by 11. So it's already sized. So when you pull it into the program, you don't have to resize anything. You just pull it right in and you can use it just as is, which is great because now you're not having to do extra legwork. It's ready to go for you. And that's why I try to always, when I do cookies and things like that, I try to size them to the size that I'm going to need them. Like when we did the graduation cookies, I said they're going to be about 4.5 to 5 inches. So I started out with a square that is 5 by 5. So that I know, okay, well, I've got a little wiggle room here and a little wiggle room here at the bottom. So that's probably like an inch in there. I mean, and I can always also take and crop this image just to make sure to see like where my sizing is to make sure that I'm still in the same space. So we're at, what size is this? Done. I cropped it. And now it's 4.6. I said like 5 and 4.5. So this is 4. It was 4.5 before I touched it. So now this is exactly the size I need it. It's 4.5 by 4 for my cutter. So I would just take and so like I said, my cutter is 4.5. If you would like, so now we have this box here. Okay, this box here is extra space, but we know it's a 1/2 inch extra. So here is one other thing that you could do for, I know that sometimes finding your sweet center spot is hard. So we're going to look for a outline. So up here, if you look at the top, they have frames, arrows, lines, circles, square, heart, box, blah, blah, blah. But we're using a square, so we could type in square. And this graphic here, this one has a thicker line. This one has a thinner line. I try to use a thinner line so that I don't have to waste that much ink, even though ink is super cheap. But why waste? So now I have a black line around the outside of my image. If you have a little spread to your cookie, which I do sometimes, and sometimes my cookie will be a little bit bigger than I anticipated, and sometimes I'll hit that line that box I just made for the outside of my cookie. You've got a couple options. So I think, yeah, you can change the color. So a light gray, don't do it too light because you will not be able to see it, especially like if you're using, like I use the roll of like butcher paper. That's what I use for my printer. And so just trying to see gray on that like kind of tannish paper is a little hard sometimes. So I go for this one that's a little bit darker than the other one. But now that line is gray. So if it hits the edge of my cookie, 9 out of 10, it'll be not noticeable at all. But for this image, I actually did not put a box around it. Because you could print them on. So hold on. Donna, I'm going to answer you. I just almost got myself off. I actually just line up my cookie with this spot here and this spot here. So I have the print. I can show you how I line it up because I still have it sitting on the printer. I can show you how I can line that up. But I usually just line it up and then just kind of put it right on top. And usually it's perfect. Yeah, you can print these on chocolate. It just have to be white chocolate. And then you just have to make sure you give them time to dry.
Yeah. And you can do, those are great for Rice Krispie treats as well, like Carolyn messaged. I mean, just anything. That's the
So
beauty
you
of
see
this.
these guys here, these little guys. This is not what we're making, obviously, but these little eggs, these are chocolate covered Oreos that I sprayed for Easter. The little chick and the little egg here. There we go.
Oh, nice.
And be I a huge thing is trying to be prepared. Be prepared. Try not to print like the day before you need it sometimes. Like I know sometimes, listen, I am a procrastinator like nobody's business. And that's why I'm always up till 3, 4, 5 in the morning. But for things like chocolate, like printing chocolate, I know that I can't just expect it to be 100% dry if I'm only giving it a few hours. I let them dry for at least 24, and I have them sitting in front of a fan all the time. I just leave the fan running overnight. I leave it in front of the fan, and usually by the time I get ready to box, 24 hours later, I don't have an issue with smearing.